I am delighted to be here with Donna Rainey right now. She is from Easley, South Carolina. She is a city council member. She's 73 years old and she just graduated the optimal eating program. And she is here to inspire you with her successes. Thank you so much for being here, Donna.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
So I want you to recall back to how you felt the very first time you and I spoke right before you enrolled in the program. Why did you want to talk to me? What was going on with your health at that time and your weight?
I've always had a hard time keeping the weight off. I can lose it, but then when I have finished, then it all creeps back on again. And I have been through every type of diet possible except surgery. And I had made a decision that I needed to change the way I eat because obviously that's my problem.
Mhm.
And thank goodness we have the internet, or I
Mhm.
wouldn't have found Trisha. And I was really impressed when I read that she was on a research project at the University of South Carolina.
Mhm.
So that kind of calmed my fears
Mhm.
because the internet is good and the internet is
Mhm.
bad.
Mhm.
And that really did it for me. That I used to live in Columbia. I'm familiar with the university, and I was just really impressed by that.
What are some of the diets that you had tried in the past?
The Weight Watchers. Is it Jenny Craig? I even did the shots. It's supposed to mimic like you're pregnant.
Mm.
I don't remember HTL or something like that.
Mhm.
Just everything.
Mhm. How long? Well, let me rephrase. Were there other things going on that you were concerned about other than your weight when you first came to talk to me?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's health issues as well. I have arthritis that really bothers me, especially when it turns off cold. I've had knee replacements, but still I have arthritis around that area.
Hmm.
Uh, I have AFib and sleep apnea and uh, borderline diabetes.
Hmm.
And I'm not getting any younger. So I'd like to live a little longer.
Hmm.
And all that came into play. And
Hmm.
that's why I think I decided, well, if I don't change the way I'm eating, it's not going to help even if I lose some of the weight because it's going to come back on.
Hmm. So you were concerned about the weight. You were also concerned about your health, different diagnoses that you had. How was all of this impacting you in your life? How was it, quote, weighing on you?
Weighing a lot. Um, I also have like arthritis in my back. So with the extra weight, and then I found that walking was a little difficult because after about 10 minutes my back would hurt, or even standing my back would hurt.
Hmm.
Then you just don't want to sit all day long. There's things I like to do and places I like to go. I love to travel. And it was very sad to go to Europe last year. And Europe is a walking country.
Hmm.
And it was difficult. I mean, I didn't get to see as much as I wanted to see because of even trying to get to these places. I'd have to stop and rest, stop and rest. And that takes a lot of time and you miss a lot.
And what was that like for you to have to stop and rest and stop and rest?
I don't like it. It's difficult.
Hmm.
And it's last year, I guess, really had a bigger impact because here's an opportunity of a lifetime, and we were gone a month.
Hmm.
So it's like, here's this opportunity, and I'm not going to get to see everything I want to see.
Mm. So you saw me, you decided to chat. We talked for an hour. I got to know you, what you tried before, how all this was impacting you, what your goals were. I thought that I could help you. You wanted to hear how I told you, and you decided to enroll in the program and get
Yes.
help. What were the first few changes you started to notice in your body and how you felt within 7 to 14 days of eating optimally?
What's really weird, and when I tell people, they look at me like, what? But of course, the weather's turning off cooler. And usually that's when, especially my left pointer finger starts aching. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just annoying more than anything. And I have to take extra strength Tylenol.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the second day. And our temperatures had dropped down to, I think, around 20, 21 or whatever. And first thing I realized after I got up, when I was like brushing my hair or something, it's like, oh, my finger's not hurting. That was so amazing to me. It's like that short of a time, and I can see a difference. And, maybe other people doesn't have the same, response or whatever, but I noticed it. I literally noticed it because I knew it was cold and I knew I was going to have that ache in that finger.
I have your evidence list pulled up, and for the person watching, my clients have to document their progress throughout the whole time because it's really good for their emotional health. And research also shows it helps you keep going towards your goals because you see how it's working. And the very first thing that you wrote, Donna, was my finger doesn't hurt or ache after one day of eating
Was it
optimally.
one? Okay, one day.
Despite the temperature dips, I even said that to my husband, and it was 26 degrees this morning. And I said this to someone else today because how we have you eat is so anti-inflammatory in a very specific way that for certain diagnoses, especially certain types of arthritis, it starts to work really, really quick. And then what did that do to your motivation getting such a quick win like that? What was that like for you?
Well, I mean, it was. I mean, it was so eye opening. And I mean, I know meat is inflammatory,
Hmm.
but when I went off of it, it was like immediate.
Hmm.
And it was just, it was shocking. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this does work.
Did it help you keep going or
Oh,
like
yes.
make you excited to keep eating
Yes.
optimally for in your unique eating plan? Great. What else did you notice within the first couple weeks of eating optimally? What are some other quick wins you got?
Um, God, I feel like that was so long ago. I felt better. Um,
In what way?
well, in what way? I really just can't describe it. I just noticed there was this, a slight difference. I felt like I wanted, I mean, I was able to do a little bit more than I had been doing or whatever. But it's
Mm-hmm.
noticeable, but sometimes you just can't explain it.
Mm-hmm. Is it okay if I read the next few things on your
Oh,
evidence?
Lord, yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
because I don't remember.
So Donna said, I lost 3 pounds in 4 days. That was number two.
Oh,
Number
okay.
three, I was able to pick things off the floor today easier than
Yeah.
I have before. Tell me more about that.
Well, usually, because a lot of my weight is around the middle. So, it's hard to bend over. I cannot squat down to pick it up. So, it's kind of this awkward stance of when you're trying to pick something up
Mm-hmm.
off the floor. But I noticed I was able to lean over and actually pick it up without doing this little gyration of trying to get down to where the floor was.
Mm-hmm. And was that within your first 1 to 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then you wrote, I feel good. I can really tell a difference. My fingers aren't hurting. I'm moving around more. I walked a lot further at the university dinner this week, and I could make it to the top of the hill without being out of breath. I could handle all the walking. And that was within 15 days because the next thing you wrote is I dropped a jean size since working with Trisha for 15 days.
Yeah. I should have printed that out so I could have it in
Oh,
front of
you
me.
have it forever. Kate already emailed it to you. You
Yeah.
have it, and you're going to keep adding to it as you go.
Yes, I am.
That is a habit. I do not want you to stop. And it's such a beautiful thing after Jan, for example, lost over 100 pounds with us.
Hmm.
to see hers after a year of just like pages and pages, it's like your story written in all progress. It's really beautiful and exciting and motivational to read. So definitely keep doing it. And then by the end of the 10 weeks, how much weight have you lost? And it hasn't even been 10 full weeks.
Yeah, is it 25?
Yes, ma'am. That's what you said today. What did you tell me you had to do when you stepped on the scale this morning?
I couldn't believe it because I lost 1.2 pounds and I waited a few minutes and I thought, well, maybe the scale's wrong. And I stood on it again.
So you didn't believe the new low on the scale that you saw.
Yeah, because I think I've lost a pound one time before, but this was like 1.2, and it's like, oh God, maybe I jostled the scale or something. But yeah, it just kind of shocked me this morning. It's like, what?
But it was real. Is it okay with you if I share your weight loss chart on the screen?
Sure.
All right, great. That way our listener can see what weight loss, healthy, sustainable weight loss looks like. So most of my clients lose an average of 1 to 3 pounds per week, of which you did. You were closer to the about 3 pounds per week end. But you can see we call the numbers on the scale a bunny. They hop up and down while they're going down a hill. So this is what Donna achieved in less than 10 weeks, which is really amazing. You lost 24 pounds in 2 months, 8 weeks, and 9 days. Um, so amazing. And then we hopped on a call today and you're like, I'm down 25. No, you just kept going, which is really beautiful. Are you counting, measuring, or weighing your food in any way?
No.
Good. I'm very happy to hear you say that. Did you have to buy any products, pills, or shots for me to do this?
No.
What is different about this and what feels more sustainable about this than any other diet you've done during all those decades of your life?
Well, that's what was just so impressive after talking with you is that you don't have special meals and it's food that you get to pick the items you like.
Mhm,
I mean, now I've tried other items, some I like, some I didn't,
mhm,
and it's easy. I mean, if you're in a rush, you can open up, a can of corn, a can of beans, uh, you know, have a potato already baked or whatever and eat it and go. And it's not like having to measure everything. And
mhm,
I guess I don't like to cook. So I'm a lazy cooker. And
mhm.
if it's fast, I'm happy.
Great.
But I also found out, I can eat out as well. Now, I live in the South. We were raised on fried foods.
Hmm.
And it's sometimes, I feel like, oh gosh, is this going to be difficult to do here because everybody puts butter in everything. But yeah, I've been able to eat out. But what I liked about it, it was simple. And that's why I think that I have success is because it's not that much of an effort to eat optimally.
Yeah. Once you learn it, yeah, and
Yeah.
get it. Are you full and satiated when you eat a meal?
Oh, yes.
So are you like having
Sometimes
to push the plate away out of hunger or anything like that?
Sometimes Trish had to fuss at me because I didn't do my mini meal because I wasn't hungry.
I had to get her to eat more food strategically. So you learned new habits here, which was how do I be successful in restaurants? How do I be successful when I don't have time to cook or I just don't want to cook and I just have 3 to 5 minutes and I'm at home? How can I throw something together? Which is one of the most important things and one of the first things I teach all of my clients once they put their eating plan in place. So people will very easily make assumptions that they're going to have to spend all their time in the kitchen, which is not it. I run a company. I'm not spending all my time in the kitchen. And to create an effective lifestyle change, you have to be able to do it anywhere and in any situation, which is what you learn. So you're on city council and you were busy this whole time. And I loved hearing about your work, let me tell you. And then you're going out to eat with your husband multiple times a week and throwing stuff together at your house. Da, da, da. And you learned how to identify things in the grocery store when you picked out products. It wasn't from me. It was just whatever grocery store you went to. That way you're sustainable wherever you go.
Yeah.
What was the scariest part, if anything, about taking a chance on yourself and enrolling in the program?
Well, I will say, and I mentioned this to Trisha at the very beginning, I felt overwhelmed
Hmm.
because it's like a lot of information, to take in.
Hmm.
So I wasn't discouraged. I was afraid that I didn't want to do anything wrong.
Hmm.
Um, then, you know, she talked me down off the limb. But then as I got into it, because at the very beginning it was a different way of eating, and I didn't want to eat the wrong foods. I wanted to make sure I was eating the right foods.
Hmm.
And then the other thing I realized yesterday, because I have come to the end of this uh, journey with Trish. When I got up, you know, my first thought was, okay, what am I going to have for breakfast? And it's like, okay, I'll have oatmeal. And then, lunch. And I did not find myself thinking, oh my gosh, I would love to have a burger. I would love to have this. And I really felt good about that because that kind of reinforced what I had learned, everything from Trish.
Hmm.
So, you know, I feel good about it. I'm not afraid. Um, and, maybe one of these days I just might take a bite of my husband's burger, but I don't think I'd ever go get, a big one or
Yeah.
whatever.
And even if you wanted to, for those watching, that could be a treat or part of someone's even weekly menu. It depends on the person. So it sounds like you didn't have any real hesitation about actually joining. It was just the first week was like, whoo, here we go, a little
Yeah.
overwhelming. But did you have any hesitation about saying, yes, I'm going to do this for myself?
No, I didn't. And I mean, I even expressed to Trisha that I felt overwhelmed. And and her talking me, about it really helped because I'm one of those, I want to do it right. I don't want to mess up.
Mhm.
So that's just a trait I have. Somebody else probably wouldn't have that issue. But I wanted to make sure I was doing everything right. And so it's just like, oh gosh, uh, you know, I pulled my list out 4 or 5 times to make sure when I went to buy groceries, I was buying the right foods and things like that.
Well, that's fantastic because it's part of what helped you get here. And we were here for you, anytime you need, even from an emotional perspective to help, because we know it's really overwhelming, especially when people have dieted for decades and tried a whole bunch of stuff. And
Hmm.
we don't take it lightly trying again, because a lot of people are just really scared to even try again. So we are here for you happily every step of the way because we know what's on the other side of that, which is what you have accomplished for yourself. And I am so delighted to hear that you feel confident continuing to do this on your own.
Hmm.
Anything else you want to say to the person watching this video that is in their 70s, has arthritis pain, especially their fingers, struggling to pick things up? They really hurt. They have extra weight. They have tried many things before, but nothing really stuck. What would you say to that person, or what would you say to the Donna right before she joined?
Well, I would say it was amazing because even though I was overwhelmed at the very beginning, I soon realized this style of eating is so easy. Um, Trisha gives you all the information you need, for what types of foods you can eat. And you really didn't have to worry that much. And I know, like I said, it was overwhelming at the very beginning, but as I progressed along, I started seeing the effects of how this type way of eating, and I don't want to call it a diet because it's just a different way of eating,
The
has
lifestyle
really,
change.
yeah, it has really improved my life because, like I said, my fingers don't hurt. I can
Mhm.
walk more.
Mhm.
And I celebrated the wins. I mean, some people would thought, oh my God, she walked up a hill, big deal. Oh no, it was big deal to me
Hmm.
because I could not do that before without stopping. Um, I can spend more time in stores looking around. So it's even a better lifestyle,
Hmm.
than I had before. I'm looking forward to planning a vacation. Don't know where we're going, but I can enjoy that more.
Hmm.
So I really recommend to anybody who asks me, because people notice, oh, you've lost weight. I saw a friend of ours yesterday and he said, gosh, Donna, you've lost weight because I hadn't seen him in a while. And, but it's something that is manageable. And Trisha and I talked about exercise. I hate exercise,
Hmm.
but eventually I'll be to the point where I want to exercise.
Hmm.
And because I know, it's not going to hurt, it's going to benefit me. And, I do the arm lifts and stuff like that right now, but um,
And you're
it's,
moving more, which is great, you
yeah,
know? And
yeah,
that just made my day hearing you say it's really improved my life. And it's not
it
just
has.
the weight loss, it's the food in and of itself. It's acting very therapeutically that it increased your energy, your stamina, it decreased your pain while you're losing weight. It wasn't the weight loss that got you that stuff, it was the food. And because it works so quickly and has a wide breadth of results that you get, it makes it a lot
Hmm.
easier to keep going. Plus, you're not hungry, because you're
No,
not
you're
putting
not.
weight away. Thank you so much for being here, Donna. It was a pleasure. I can't wait to hear about you continuing to kick butt, not just with optimal eating and your health, but in all the ways that you kick butt in the world. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.